Mike, we got some good news earlier in the week. Cree Thomas from out in Arizona, a guy that you've told us about, it seems like, for a long time, verbally committed to the Irish's class of 2025. And that high school, man, has been very good to Notre Dame lately.
Yeah, landing a young man named Ben Morrison in the 2022 class. I think he's worked out at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's newest commitment from Phoenix Brophy Prep is in this 2025 class, like you mentioned. Cree Thomas, a cornerback prospect as well. And if I can pull up Ben Morrison's On3 profile to show you guys how he was listed, in terms of rankings and whatnot. So he came out at 6'1", 172. Thomas is listed right now, finishing up his junior season, 6'1", 170.
Okay.
Thomas, a high 3-star / low 4-star across the board. And then you look at Cree Thomas, is like a high 3-star right now. And it's like, man, like their profiles are kind of similar in terms of ranking and size. And then Darren, when I went and saw Ben Morrison play his senior year, he played a lot of free safety in cover 2 and just kind of locked down half of the field. And when you watch Cree Thomas, what does he do in this first play? He's playing some safety and gets a tip ball interception. So even the way they play is kind of similar. So Cree Thomas committing to Notre Dame over Oregon, Wisconsin, and the Arizona schools. I think this is a really nice pickup for the Fighting Irish. If he's half of what Benjamin Morrison has been in Notre Dame, then it's a huge pickup. And Cree's even wearing the number 20 here. That even looks like Ben Morrison a little bit. I really like this pickup for Notre Dame. And another way that these two kids are similar, talking about Morrison and Thomas, is that just phenomenal young men. Morrison was an absolute treat to cover, and Thomas has been as well. And as I told Thomas when I interviewed him about his commitment about 8 days before he announced it, I thanked him for making me look smart, because I logged a prediction for him back in April to land at Notre Dame, and that ended up coming true. So a rare Mike Singer moment, looking good, Darren. I love the pickup for Notre Dame. Mike Mickens and Marcus Freeman do a tremendous job recruiting defensive backs. I think they've kind of proved that in their track record since Freeman. Really since Mickens got here. And his first class would have been 2021, because he got here a year before Freeman did. Not a highly ranked guy right now, but common bozos who just only want to go off recruiting rankings. You're just not following the right program. Notre Dame is going to land some big time players, but they have to be a developmental program with some of these. Like, they're just not going to be able to land like high 4 stars and 5 stars across the board. They're going to take some 3 stars, and you got to hit on some of these 3 stars. They did with Ben Morrison. They did with a guy named Joe Alt, and they're going to continue to do it moving forward.
I love his 6'1" height at corner, and the versatility, the athleticism. This is a great guy to take. I don't want to say take a chance on. This is a guy that seems to profile to Notre Dame. And Mike, I don't know if there's many guys on the staff that we all trust more than Mickens in his evaluation. You even go back to Cincinnati, he was all in on Sauce Gardner, and Marcus was a little slow to even jump on the Sauce bandwagon. And look what he's done here. Look at the development of the young guys. So if there's anybody I trust, Coach Mickens, I tell you what, Mike is near the top of my list.
Yeah, in agreement. He's done a phenomenal job, and that's the reason why he's kind of being thrown out there as like a potential defensive coordinator. Like, that's going to be his next job. He's not going to be just the cornerbacks coach at Notre Dame forever. He is going to be a defensive coordinator, whether it's at Notre Dame or somewhere. Like, his trajectory as a coach is definitely up. Mike Mickens has done a really good job in his few years at Notre Dame.
Well, if there's one thing that you probably get tweeted about more than anything, it's player rankings. But we have good news for all those people that holler at you, even though you have nothing to do with the process. But On3 had some rankings updates, and I noticed in one of your social media productions, there's a lot of Notre Dame guys that took big jumps this time around.
Darren, if there's 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know how many. When you look at high school junior class and high school seniors, there's how many rankings updates are there per calendar year? What, 10?
Probably.
So multiply that by, the 4.5 years I've been here, around 50, 40 to 50 ranking cycles I've covered. I've never seen one this pro Notre Dame before. Cam Williams, Notre Dame's 5-star receiver commit. So here's the thing. He's a 5-star according to the industry ranking, which takes the 4 websites On3, 24/7, ESPN, and Rivals, spits out the formula, and that's what it is, right? It kind of weighs all 4 websites and has an average. We're just talking about On3's own individual rankings here. So, for example, Cam Williams, none of the sites rank him individually as a 5-star, but the On3 industry ranking does, because he's the number 26 overall player, and I believe it has 32 5-stars. But On3 actually ranks him higher than the industry ranking, but he's a 4-star because On3 doesn't have 32 5-stars. I know it's a whole thing. But Darren, he moved up a few spots, number 28 to 24 in the national rankings. Gerby Lambert, 29 to 21 in the national rankings. I think On3 has Kedron Young, the running back commit from Texas, ranked highest. All the websites have Anthony Knapp ranked as a 3-star, except for On3, who actually moved him up 46 spots in the national ranking. Micah Gilbert moved up about 90 spots in the national rankings. Kingston Amuasa moved up 36 spots. Styles Prescott On3 has ranked high. So it's like across the board. Logan Saldate, the receiver from California, went from a 3-star to a 4-star. Across the board, Darren, these Notre Dame commits are skyrocketing. But no one cares because it's all about CJ Carr. The whole discussion is about CJ Carr. That's the topic, right? He actually moved down 15 spots in the national rankings and 1 spot down in the quarterback ranking. So if you are just like, I hate On3, I'm not willing to listen to any reasoning. I'm done with this, Mike. Just stop listening or stop watching. Just skip past this. But if you're willing to listen, then let's have a conversation. I disagree with this ranking. I think Carr is definitely not the number 208 overall player and number 15 quarterback. And this is, of course, the Irish pledge from the Ann Arbor area, grandson of Lloyd Carr. But Darren, maybe he is. Like, maybe this ranking is correct. Maybe it's not. How? We can't know yet. Like, that's my whole thing. It's like people that are slamming their fists on the table, like, I don't know, maybe someone else sees something different in Carr, or maybe they see other quarterbacks just better than CJ. We will find out in college. That's the beauty of this. We will find out in a few years. And if On3's rankings is very wrong, I will gladly look at those tweets and enjoy them with you. To just like, yes, Charles Power, you were wrong. The On3 rankings guy. But if Charles was right, then own up to it. I don't know. We'll just see, guys. Just calm down. Like, it's just the rankings. They're not that big of a deal. Now, there's one other thing that I wanted to talk about. Is my coworker Kyle Kelly did a really good story, Darren, on 4 reasons why Notre Dame football fans should be pleased with the latest On3 rankings. How about this? Cam Williams is tracking to be Notre Dame's first 5-star recruit at receiver since Michael Floyd in the 2008 class. Gerby Lambert is set to become Notre Dame's highest-ranked offensive line prospect since Sam Young back in the 2006 class. Kedron Young very well may be Notre Dame's top running back recruit since Sierra Wood back in 2009. And Bryce Young is nearing Notre Dame's top defensive line / edge prospect since 2011 when Notre Dame signed 3 5-star prospects, Aaron Lynch, Ishaq Williams, and Stephon Tuitt. And that's all in one recruiting class. That sounds pretty good, Darren.
It does.
That sounds pretty good. So, yeah. So that's the whole thing. I disagree with CJ Carr's ranking it On3, but across the board, it's a pretty darn good class according to these rankings.